All right, so let's first off a 41-6 win for your Tarleton Texans. You guys moved to 2-1 on the season. Your overall thoughts as we start off the interview?
Well, I thought we played pretty well in most areas. We didn't play very well on third down at all on offense, but we were explosive. I thought at times we had an opportunity to be a lot more explosive. We had our hands on some balls. We couldn't quite bring them in. We'll have to look at the film to see if they were drops. Missed 3 field goals. That's not good. Our defense was dominant, and that was good to see. But all in all, we're 2-1, and which is a good spot for us right now. I think we made improvement tonight. Still got a lot of work to do. I think we get a little complacent at times. I thought we did on the offensive side tonight. So we were 4 of 14, I think, on third down. We've got to convert at a lot higher rate than that. So, but all in all, it's a really good win. I'm really proud of our players and our coaches.
You talked about the defense stepping up and being dominant. It wasn't just the defense as a whole. They had to do things. You had some players out. 2 of your best linebackers are out tonight to start things off. Really, 3 of them, I guess, in that game. Can you talk about how much it means to your team when you can have guys behind them step up and make plays like they did tonight?
Yeah, I was especially proud of those guys that stepped in. We had 4 starters out on defense. Three linebackers. Eastern New Mexico was leading the Lone Star Conference in pass offense with 291 yards a game. So I don't even think they had 100 yards tonight. I'm not sure. Maybe they did. But yeah, I was proud of that. Proud of the fact that, kind of the next man up mentality came into play there. And like I said, I think we improved. We've still got a ways to go. Got a really, really big ball game coming up this week on the road. That'll be a real test for us. So, but couldn't be more pleased with week 3. I thought we won in a dominant fashion, really all 3 phases. Where our backup kicker played tonight, I thought he did some really good things, and he had an opportunity. I would have liked to have seen him made those other field goals. It's not every day that you get an opportunity to go in and create some value for yourself, and to go kick 4 field goals would have been a really nice thing for him. But he made 2 nice field goals, and no, he made 1 or 2 field goals. I'm not sure, but 2. I think we missed 3. Is that right?
That's
so,
right.
And then there again, we get down in there in the scoring area. I think we had some drop passes, one thing or another. So, we had a chance to really score some points. We just kind of can't get out of our own way at times.
Defensively, I want to go back to one more play because there are a lot of big plays defensively, but one really stood out to me, and that was a play that Patrick Jones made on the outside, that interception he made to start the second half. That's a linebacker outside. I believe, if I'm correct, he was covering a wide receiver or a running back and makes a heck of a play step for step with that guy down the sidelines. Can you talk about what you saw in that play and what kind of player is Patrick Jones?
Yeah, Patrick's just done really well for us. Great leader. He's a graduate student in our business school in our MBA program, and he was an all-conference player over in that Gulf South Conference over at Henderson State, Division II transfer. Just really a good player and brings a lot of energy to our defense, and really, really proud of him. That was a big time play, I thought. He's a guy that can play outside linebacker or safety, and has played both and done well at both.
Offensively, it really seems like you're getting a 3-headed monster, obviously maybe 4-headed, right? With if you count in Beau Allen, but you got 3 guys, 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside that can play outside too. Cooper, Smith, and Douglas are all guys that can make big catches and have put up big numbers early in the season. How important is it to have multiple people that you can go to for your quarterback and for your offense?
Well, like I said, yeah, we have a chance, I think, to have a really good offense. We've just got to get more consistent. We had, I don't know, I think 4 or 5 times we had the ball in our hands and we weren't able to finish the play. And the same thing kind of happened to us in week 1 a little bit. We were more explosive tonight. You got to play better on 3rd down. You got to play better in the red zone. You really shouldn't have to kick 5 field goals.
Yeah.
We ought to be playing to a little higher standard, getting that ball in the end zone. And if you're going to win big ball games, you got to score touchdowns.
You ended up with 161 yards rushing, but I think a lot of the reasons that you had problems on 3rd down is because you're kind of behind the chains some tonight. And some of that started, I thought, in the running game and struggles early in the game. You ended up doing real well on the ground. 161 yards isn't that bad, but it seems like a lot of that came late. Do you feel like early in the game you were trying to run the ball a little bit more and didn't have the success that you're used to having?
Well, we were trying to take what they were giving us, and they were, most of the time, just about every snap, they had 7 guys committed to the run. And so almost all of our RPOs were situations where we pulled the ball and threw it. And then we dropped back a little bit more than we normally do. I think we threw it 38 times maybe. And so they were lining up to stop the run. We kind of had to try to take what they were giving us. And kind of the way they line up anyway is sort of conducive to stopping the run. So we felt like going into the game that we would be able to really throw the ball and throw it effectively, and I think we were. 4 or 5 more completions, and you probably feel a little different.
Family Weekend's a big weekend here. The crowd was intense. There's a great tailgate before the game. Can you talk about how much it means for your team to have a crowd like that to play in front of on Family Weekend?
Well, I love our student body, and our fans are just phenomenal. We've been blessed here. These are the guys that I'm so fortunate to be able to coach. They almost always play really well at home, or certainly we're not 100% on that, but these guys, we've won a whole lot more than we've lost around here at home, and I think that pleases me that we can go out and get wins for our fans, our student body, and they showed up again. We had great attendance. I would venture to say the best attendance in the WAC consistently, and it just really helps. Our players really kind of feed off of things when you've got a loud full house that's loud, and so it just means so much to our football program. I think it means so much to our university, our athletic department, the way that the fans show up and support our team.
Coach, having said that, you get to head out on the road, and it'll be about 5 weeks before you get to play at Memorial again. It starts off with Northern Alabama next weekend, but overall, a long, not really a long road trip, but a long span of time where you don't get to come home. How important is getting off to the good start in that first game?
Yeah, it's critical. I think college football, so much of it is getting off to a good start, and so we were able to do that today. And so and then to go on the road this week, it's going to be really important that we get off to a good start.
Coach, thank you for the time. Congrats on the win, and we will talk to you Monday night.
Thank you.
Beau, first, congratulations on the win, not the wind. One of the things that we noticed just watching you play in these first few games, and the guy that does color with us, Kyle Masters, points out, feels like you're just kind of calm under pressure. First off, do you feel like you're that way? And second, where does that come from? Where do you get that?
I'd say I do feel like I'm pretty calm under pressure, but there are plenty of instances where I can be better in that area. So I think sometimes, I definitely tonight there's areas I could have improved in that sense, but I think a lot of times I do play pretty calm. I think a lot of it comes in a good offensive line, and a lot of it comes from other guys you have around you. But really just trusting that your guys are going to do their job, as my guys do all the time. But I think that's the main factor that comes into playing calm. And kind of being able to be as comfortable as you can out on the football field and make it all go the kind of speed that you want it to.
Sure. You start off the game great. You to Smith to start the game. How important is it to get off to a good start in a game like this?
It's so important. I think like last week that was something we struggled with, and I struggled. Like I kind of put us in a tough spot to get off to a great start. And this week, and this first drive, I had a kind of curl route to Gabe Douglas. I was a little bit late on, but the start is huge. It can kind of determine. You should have, if good or bad, you should have a good even keel, but it's huge just in terms of how kind of momentum can be and how you want your team to roll. But our defense today we could have, no matter how good or bad our start was, they kept us there, and they played unbelievable tonight. But the start of a football game is huge.
You talked about the defense and how well they played, no doubt there. As a quarterback, does it change your approach at all when you got a defense playing that well?
I wouldn't say it doesn't change your approach at all, but I mean, our goal down there is to get 7 points up on the board every time we touch it. But it's just, I don't know what the right word is. Our defense has always been a good defense, but just how they played tonight it was incredible. And we could have just the things they were doing. It was just incredible on their part, and they did a phenomenal job from Coach Nix to all the players out on the field, all the other assistant coaches. They did a phenomenal job.
Kind of developing a three-headed monster when it comes to receiving out there. Douglas, Smith, and Cooper. Those guys all can – first off, they can make great catches.
Yes.
We saw another one from Cooper tonight. Douglas had a ridiculous one down near the end zone. We've seen Jaden Smith do it over and over again. How much easier does that make that on you? And when you go to somebody and you're trying to decide, obviously the play call comes up to that and has some kind of part in it. But how do you pick who to go to? Is it just the open one, or is it the coverage, or is it a combination of all things?
Kind of probably a combination of everything, but and those guys are incredible. We got other guys so many other guys behind them too that have made some plays tonight too, and will continue to throughout the rest of the season. But got all sorts of things, but I know those guys will make plays for me all the time, and I just got to make the right decision and get it to the right spot, and it'll turn out pretty well for us.
Nice little wiggle on that last run there to get the touchdown. When he came off, and again, Kyle Masters, the guy that does color with me, he played for Todd Whitten. So he says Todd Whitten is the only guy that you can score a touchdown for and come to the sideline and still catch an earful of what you should have done. Can you talk about that play and then kind of you don't have to give the whole message, but the message you got from Todd Whitten on the sideline after you came out?
Well, it was a play before, but he was which is completely understandable. I was anticipating on something that I really shouldn't have anticipated on, something I'm not coached to do. And but typically if I did what he was wanting me to, we probably would have had a touchdown earlier, and we would have had a passing touchdown, and I wouldn't have gotten touched, and it would have been a little bit easier. But so it was more about the play before. But I think in the sense of the scoring the touchdown, he would have been fine. I think it was third down, so I hope he would have been fine. But it was more about the play before. I could have definitely made that a little bit easier on us and just made it a little more simple and done the right thing.
You're 3 games deep in about a month and a half into being here at Tarleton State now, and you've been under Whitten. He is obviously a big voice in what you did, probably the biggest in what you do. What's it like playing quarterback for him?
It's awesome. He's just, I think, having a head coach or just a guy he's our offense coordinator, you call it, and him being a quarterback in the past, I think that really helps the quarterback position. I think just having that kind of relationship with him and Coach Austin, and that, like, hearing their word in the room every day about the opponent, about the stuff we do in practice. It's really good because with our offense, we do all sorts of kinds of things, and some people see it different other ways, but it's really important to get on the same page with all different kinds with the stuff we do, and try to lessen the gray area and all of our different kind of reads and all that. But it's a really important. Coach Whitten does a phenomenal job, but the relationship that us quarterbacks have with Coach Whitten and Coach Austin, it wouldn't. If we didn't have a good one, it would really harm this offense in terms of having the same kind of way to communicate with each other and being on the same page with. Sure, if you're not on the same page with your play caller and your quarterback coach, I think a lot of this doesn't go the best way that it can. And that's I'm learning as much. I feel like I've learned a very strong amount in the amount of time I've been here. But this offense is getting better, and I think we're close to putting it all together. There's plenty of areas where we need to improve on from tonight. Myself, I definitely need to on many, but with Coach Whitten, he does a phenomenal job, and it's awesome to be a quarterback under him.
Man, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. And we can't wait to watch you next week up in Florence, Alabama.
Sir, sounds good. Thank you.